What is up? Welcome back to the Supercoach Experience podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Savage, and I'm joined by today, Matty G, the host of the Speak Free podcast. How are you, mate?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. Just got done here at Drink West watching that incredible preliminary final. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it? Was it was hyped up to be the game of the year, the game of the century? People were talking about Triple M earlier this morning, and I feel like it kind of delivered to some extent.
I think so. I thought it was a real rough, very physical game. I mean, it was for Broncos fans, it would have been nice to get a bit of revenge for the 2023 grand final, especially in a comeback fashion. But yeah, I honestly thought Penrith were all over them. I did not see Brisbane coming back. But yeah, here we are.
It's funny, I was watching with a hardcore Panthers fan, and I was saying to him the whole time, he kept saying, Brisbane are coming back. And you know what? I felt that energy, but at the same time I said to him, don't worry, Penrith have been the better team for this whole game, and the better team usually wins. And I still think Penrith were the better team, but Broncos just held out enough, and I think their defence won this game,
yeah.
Whereas we would have thought, like Reece Walsh earlier in the week on NRL 360 kind of said, how are they going to stop us? Well, Penrith kind of did stop them, but Broncos just showed that grit, and I feel like they've got so many aspects to their game that can really... I honestly think they're the favourites for the premiership.
I think so. I think they're a better team than Melbourne. Melbourne, to me, have kind of just sort of sailed through. Obviously, they're a great team, right? They're a champion team, but... I haven't seen the level of brilliance from Melbourne that I've seen from Brisbane and from Penrith this year. It's going to be an interesting grand final. I don't know if I'm that keen for it, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. We'll talk about that later. But obviously, we'll go over the games very quickly. But I just want to introduce yourself to my listeners. Matty G, you're from the Penrith area. You do a podcast based in the 27 Project, which is in Penrith, and that is the local studio. If you're in Penrith and you use that studio, you're a true Penrith podcaster. Tell me about your podcast and tell me about what your goals are.
Yeah, so I started the potty back in 2021. It's changed a lot since then, since what it was at the start. And this year especially, I've just got into pretty much solely NRL content, which has sort of just happened organically. And yeah, I'm a massive West Tigers fan, so you'll see that through all my content. And yeah, my goals are just to keep kicking along, man, and see growth and just go with the flow. I think that's one thing I really tried to do this year, is just go where sort of I'm being naturally led with the potty, and it's paid dividends. So
I think it's pretty apparent that you are doing it that way, because every time I see what guests you have on the podcast, it's what I'm watching in the NRL space at the time. Like when you had JC on, Jean-Claude Bitter, it was just the perfect time to have him on. You had Emilio De Savage, you had Hectic Fred, and just all these guys. It feels like I'm constantly seeing these guys in my NRL TikTok feed, and then you have them on the podcast. And I feel like last year you had Nick Stav on.
Yeah.
And he was probably bigger at the time then in the NRL world, that is. It's kind of funny how he's kind of made his journey in the NRL world at the moment. But
it's the face of the NRL.
But yeah, it's funny. Your goals, do you feel like you're hitting goals at the moment?
This year, yeah, especially. Yeah. This year has been massive growth for me. It was sort of 4 years of chugging along and hoping for the best. And this year, yeah, it's been awesome. It's been insane. To have people that actually genuinely give a shit what I have to say, and and the content I'm putting out is it's a blessing.
I feel like Tigers home games is where you flourish the most.
100%, especially at Leichhardt.
I love your videos just after full time, and it's just you got your camera, you got your microphone, and then you're cheering in front of everyone, and you're just up the fucking Tigers.
I know, I just let the passion get the better of me. You know what, it's funny, because the first time I did that this year was after we beat the Roosters, and it was to break a 6-game losing streak. So I was just amped up, and I just said to my mate, I was like, film me. I don't know what I'm going to say. Just film me. And I was just like, no one said we could win it. No one said we could fucking win it. And I was like, this is just, yeah. And then I said the line, enjoy this one, Tigers fans. And that sort of just has stuck now as a catchphrase when we win games. So hopefully next year I'll be able to say a lot more than the last few years. I mean, this year was better, but
it's weird how the content creators kind of need a catchphrase for people to recognise them from. Like, I know there's so many people within the space. Like, you had the Leaguey on a couple of weeks ago. Him talking about that green jacket, like, it never really clicked to me. I'm just like, every time I watch his content, I'm like, that green jacket must smell. But there's like a thing to it.
Yeah, he wears it to games and everything too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And I've seen him in normal clothes and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, thank God you have normal clothes. But like, I really respect how like he's sticking to his niche and recognisable. I think that's a very important thing in the NRL world, especially because it's such a. Oh, I'm getting a phone call from my dad. Very good. So where was I here? So you've done your podcast, and we're at Drink West at the moment. You held an event here on Friday night. How was that?
It was
Tell
fun.
us about that.
It was very fun. Little content creator meetup here to watch the Storm Sharks game. It was fun. I got pretty pissed and had a good time.
I got a little bit pissed too. I brought my daughter here. She had a great time. She loves Big Les. Big Les has been on the podcast before for the people that listen. But you invited a bunch of content creators. We did the same thing this time last year as well, and it's such a good venue to do it.
Yeah, 100%. It was mad to see people get around it. I literally organised that in like 4 days, I think it was. I think I messaged everyone on the Monday, and we had it on the Friday. So it was pretty unprepared, but
they're very flexible with it. So I feel like we could do this nearly once every 2 months, and it'll be a successful thing. Yeah. If you overdo it, obviously, too much. But
we're gonna do a big Vegas event.
I really enjoyed it. We did it for Super Saturday last year. I thought it was a hit. We filled out every single table, but they've upgraded. They've got like pizzas over there as well. So what are you drinking at the moment? The Passiona.
The Pedro Passiona.
And what are your thoughts on it out of 10?
Oh, mate, it's 10 out of 10. I love
10
it.
out of 10?
If you're a Passiona fan,
I'm drinking the brand new Chris's Crush. It's an orange flavoured drink, and oh my God, this is my new favourite. I love this one. Let's get into the games. The hot topics of the week, obviously. The first thing that springs to mind at the moment, Victor Radley. He's opted not to play for England this year for the Ashes tour, and a lot of people are kind of saying that the Roosters kind of forced his hand in that. What are your thoughts on that?
I actually don't know that much about it.
Oh, no, that's fair.
When did that get announced?
No, so obviously Victor Radley got banned for 10 matches for that cocaine settle with Brendan Smith. He's recently just announced that he's not going to be available for the Ashes tour for England. He plays for England for those of you that don't know.
But
so Triple M this morning. A lot of the journos tend to believe that the Roosters kind of persuaded him into that decision.
Right, okay.
So it's more a 13-game match ban. What are your thoughts on that? Because I feel like a 10-game ban is pretty harsh as it is.
Yeah, it's half the season, honestly.
But if the Roosters kind of persuaded him to take that extra time off to go to England and kind of, have a little bit of holiday with his family, I feel like that's bit full on, right?
I think so. I mean, they're very hard. They've got very high standards there. I don't sort of agree with the ban. I thought it was a bit too harsh. But in saying that, he could have also been sacked. So it's probably better than him being sacked. Look, I don't know. It's a whole different. They're a different breed. That club. Like.
I respect it. I respect it kind of, yeah.
I respect it as well. I think it's like it sets high standards, but in saying that, I also think like it's not like he was caught red-handed. Do you know what I mean? Like it was like I don't know. It's a very like he was named. The only evidence they have is text messages. Like technically he could. You just say it wasn't me.
No, exactly.
But he's copped it on the chin, and I think he'll come back a better player for it.
And you know what? I respect the Roosters, and I respect Victor Radley. Like, I respect everyone in this situation. I think the Roosters have been harsh on him, but if they don't stand for that, then that's the kind of punishment they're going to do.
Yeah.
I think players in the club in the future aren't going to do something like that, and if that's the case, like, I think they've made their bed for it. And I feel like this decision was off the back of Nick Politis' comments earlier in the year.
But he sort of built a rod for his own back by saying that there's like a no...
But it's good that they stick by it, because Victor Radley is like the Roosters' son, and you know that he didn't want to leave the club at all. So.
Well, he's a junior as well. I think that's what you got to put into it, is like how much work he's put into that club and the culture he's helped build. And yeah, it's you know, the 10 weeks will pass and he'll be back, and you know, everyone will forget about it. And
100%. All right, we're going to get on to the preliminary finals.
Yes.
But firstly, the Tiger season in a nutshell, successful or?
I think it's a success. Yeah. I would say so. I would give it a pass mark. We're building.
You're building. 100%.
Next year's going to be a good year.
I really love what I'm hearing from the Terrell May podcast. I think I'm hearing positive things. Benji coming onto the podcast.
How good.
That was so good.
Yeah.
That was the best thing I've ever listened to. And I know we've seen Craig Bellamy go on the 167 podcast and all that, but I love what Terrell May is doing. I think he's a leader, and I think he should be a shoo-in for one of the front rows of the year for sure.
Yeah.
The nominees came out recently,
yes.
and I'm scared he's going to get snubbed, to be honest.
You reckon?
Yeah, well, I think he's by far second at worst.
So will they put in Paint?
It'll be Payne and May. But I just feel like, are they going to put Tarpanay? They're going to put Nafahu White?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't even want to think about that.
Yeah,
I'm still pissed off about Origin, to be honest.
Yeah, he definitely got snubbed from Origin. But it's funny because, like, Stefano has actually killed it since then.
Yeah.
Look, as a Tigers fan, like, I feel like Stefano, Terrell May's played way better in a Tigers jersey and just in general than Stefano has, even playing really good.
Yeah. In saying that, like, Melbourne would maybe be a little bit harder to stand out, and maybe you don't need to put in as much work. You know, Terrell's doing massive minutes because, you know, obviously he can do massive minutes, but also because we sort of need him to. And till we build up our, you know, I mean, we've got great forwards, but, you know, he's out there killing it for that long period of time because, you know, if he was in another club, he wouldn't be doing those sort of
minutes. 100%.
Is what I'm saying. Yeah. But, you know, yeah, I would have him as probably the second best prop of the year behind Haas. And yeah, I know it blows my mind they weren't in Origin together.
Yeah, 100%. I know we need to be talking about the preliminary finals very quickly, but this is something we haven't done a podcast together, so I want to get your thoughts on this. Maverick Geyer is coming to the Tigers next year. I'm actually very close to his brother.
Okay, yeah.
His brother reckons he's aiming to be a 13.
Okay.
And plays big minutes. He's calculated his Supercoach scores. Gets a lot of points in the middle. Like, he reckons he works into a game. Do you see someone like Maverick Geyer coming into the side as a 13? I think it could fill a hole that they need.
Yeah, I mean, we do need a proper 13. I think that's the one, like, position that we don't have, you know, a really solid
stability.
Yeah. And I thought Dewey was that for a little bit, but then he's killing it in halves, and you know, he'll probably stay there. But if not, Dewey's an option as well. It's good to have depth, so that's what I'm excited about. But yeah, if he's you know, we'll trust in Benji and see what Benji sees in each player, and you know. But yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm excited for him to come over.
Dewey or Latu going to be the 7?
Going into round 1 next year. I don't know.
I think Dewey's got to get first crack, to be honest.
Yeah, probably Dewey.
And let Latu
young.
win the position.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to go about it.
Yeah. Obviously, it depends on pre-season as well and who's aiming up. And, you know, Latu was going to be a start in you know, 2024. And then Galvin came in and, you know, and shocked everyone with his skill. And so who knows how the team will line up when it comes to round 1. But yeah.
All right, enough Tigers chat. Let's get into the preliminary final chat. All right, into the prelims. We'll hear a drink quest for the Melbourne vs Sharks matchup. What were your thoughts on the matchup? Just initial thoughts straight up. I was very excited for this one. I thought the Sharks were a really good chance, and I think the Sharks still showed enough that they have enough future in them, but Melbourne too good.
Yeah, I think Melbourne at home was always going to be a tough ask, especially the teams that Sharks had beaten to get there, you know, to take out a very informed Roosters side, and then to win in Canberra, you know, incredible effort, you know, and set up a good prelim. But yeah, Melbourne just seemed too strong from the get-go.
Who were your standouts for the matchup?
I'm trying to think now because I actually got pretty drunk.
No, I think Munster was very good. Munster just tended to run first up, but like Jerome Hughes, just with that broken arm, with that hurt shoulder, it's funny because I hear a lot of the experts kind of say, why didn't the opposition team go at him a lot more? And I feel like these really good teams, like the Roosters in 2019.
Yes, they protect the players.
Melbourne this year, they play so good that you don't have a chance to do it.
And it's also just about how they position themselves too. Like he was pretty protected throughout the game, and for good reason. You don't want to go into a grand final with him injured again. But yeah, it does remind me of Cronk in 2019
19
or 18.
18.
I
think it was not. It could have been 19.
Nah, it was 18. It was 18.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because I was up the top, I remember.
Yep, okay.
And 19, I was down the bottom.
18 was Melbourne Storm. Yeah, it would have been Melbourne Storm.
And I remember because I was outside, like on the, like the big like loops they have at a
Yeah.
I was like on the top, like having a ciggy. And I just remember going, Cooper Crog's in. But they announced it. But yeah, that was, I sort of got those vibes on Friday night a little bit. So yeah, but look, they're champion players like your Munsters, Hughes, Grant, all these Melbourne just don't seem to like they had the big three, right? And then they go, and it's like, well, then Pappenhausen comes in, then Grant comes in, then it's like they just have this ability to just have just incredible side every year. It's evident with how many times they've been to the finals, how many times they've been to prelim, grand finals. They're just they're that team, and they're hungry. Last year hurt them to lose that game.
Who did it hurt more though, like 2023 or 2024? Like we're getting two matchups of teams that are hurting.
That is actually, I didn't even think about that. That's the two, yeah.
I cannot believe we didn't start this podcast. The Penrith dynasty is over.
I know.
The Penrith dynasty is over.
It's actually crazy, eh?
I feel empty inside. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a Penrith supporter, but witnessing greatness is much more
I think that's what
enticing.
everyone needs to sort of like realise. I think there's such tall poppy syndrome in this country, and I think we forget to stand back and just appreciate how great something is.
Yeah.
To Penrith, honestly, congratulations. Great 4 years. Great 6 years, really. Fucking incredible. I can't believe it's over. Like, it was... They're the greatest team I've ever seen play the game. Like, over those... Like, the last 4 years, obviously not including this year, but still, this year surprised me. But to win 4 in a row in this modern era, the salary cap era, the amount of players they've had leave, hats off to them.
And it's crazy. I was making plans halftime 2 hours ago saying we're coming back here next week to Panthers because this vibe is just like the vibe at the Panthers Leagues Club was insane. You should have seen at the end. It was like you could hear a pin drop. It was
it was like that here
It
too.
was ridiculous. All good things come to an end, but I think Penrith get better next year, obviously, and I think they'll learn from it.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not talking about them, but like Melbourne, they've been up for a very long time. Do you think they have enough and what it takes to take out this year's premiership?
They do. They definitely do have enough. I just see Broncos winning it. I thought whoever won today wins the premiership. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just have more flair. I think they have an ability to really turn on for like a solid short amount of time and pump out tries. Like the way they came back against Canberra, the way they came back today, it all happened in a pretty quick period of time. Like, that ability to just like switch the fuck on is pretty unreal.
I got to say, out of Brisbane, the Sharks, Melbourne, and Penrith, Brisbane have had the worst final series, yet they're 2 out of 2. Like, that is ridiculous. And Reece Walsh didn't even have to... Reece Walsh had that really big moment to set up that try for Mariner today.
Yeah.
But they haven't had to rely on one single player to do things. Payne Haas was immense. Adam Reynolds, clutch field goal. I've been very critical of his game management and closing out games, but I think he's learned from this last few weeks with Ben Hunt being in there.
Yeah.
The Brisbane are favourites, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree. I think they'll have a lot more support too at the game than Melbourne. I'd love to see what the 2006 crowd numbers were, because that's when they last versed each other in a grand final. Because I don't know what it's going to be like next week, but I think Brisbane will. A lot of people will travel down for it, definitely. And yeah, I just see them. Yeah, I see them winning it.
Crazy. 10 years on, Ben Hunt, 2015. We all know that moment, and he gets a chance of redemption. Adam Reynolds hasn't been in a grand final since 2023. He gets a chance of redemption. Is it a redemption arc, or is it the year of the Munster? Like, I feel like we've underestimated the year the Munsters had.
Yeah.
Origin absolutely killed it in Origin. We all know what happened with his father, which is like, it's the worst thing that can happen to someone.
Yeah.
And the storyline is crazy on both sides.
Yeah, look, Munster is fucking what a champion. The way he handled Origin with everything that went on, hats off to him. I hate Queensland, but
you kind of like it when they win because of him, right?
No.
No. But like, at least there's something behind it, right?
There's massive respect there. But yeah, in terms of Queensland, I'll never be able to see Queensland win. Yeah, look, I think Melbourne. Yeah, I think Melbourne they possess every quality they need to win a premiership, 100%. And I think they can do it if everything goes their way. And but for me, yeah, I'd still.
You're a bit distracted because it took a photo of us.
I'm too ADHD for that shit.
All right, let's go on to the Brisbane and Penrith game. Obviously, Penrith 14-0 at one point. Do you feel like this was the game of opportunities? There was a point in the second half where Penrith had an opportunity to take the 2. Obviously, looking back, that would have been a great move. I was saying to the Penrith fan I was watching the game with, they should take the 2 here, because if they get down that end again and get another penalty, then that's 3 tries ahead.
Yeah.
Hindsight, I was right in that moment, but I also really respected the decision that they went to attack, because I felt like Brisbane had really done a really good job to hold out the Penrith Panthers for a long period of time, and it felt like they were about to crack. They didn't, and it's a missed opportunity on the Penrith behalf, but God, they couldn't have done much more, to be honest.
Yeah, that second half, I mean, it was sort of a complete 180, right? Like, of how that went. I really thought Penrith were so on top of them that I mean, it's 14-0 halftime. That's fucking wild. Yeah, I thought Brisbane were going to come back. I did think that. I thought they're going to make a play for it. They've got 52,000 screaming Broncos fans. They're going to want to, make a game of it. But I thought Penrith would just have the class and the experience to hold them out. But man, when Brisbane get going, they fucking get going. And there's just, I don't know, some teams you can just see it in them, that will to win. And Penrith's had that for the last, 5 years. And today, in that second half, I just saw it in Brisbane. I'm like, they are not done yet. Like, how long left was it? It was 14-6 with about, 15, 16 minutes to go?
Yeah.
I think.
And you just know they needed that one try to get things going.
Yeah.
And then the Reece Walsh missed conversion. Like, the Panthers, when I was at the Panthers Leagues Club, like, everyone went up because they knew that was so crucial.
Yeah. Because they've got multiple people who can kick a 2-pointer and to tie it up, but they didn't need it.
No, they didn't need it. They didn't need it for sure. Brisbane didn't win it. I think this is why I think they're favourites. They didn't win it in the typical fashion of absolutely dominating the other side. They held out, and the opportunities they got, they took. Obviously, we're seeing a replay right here. Adam Reynolds icing the moment. They're going to take a lot of confidence into next week. I'm really keen to see what's going on here. End of a dynasty.
I know. I actually can't. I sort of still can't believe it, eh?
Yeah, it's weird, eh?
It sort of doesn't feel real. But how funny that we've all become so accustomed to Penrith just winning. That we're like, what the fuck?
My daughter was born in 2021. She doesn't know a world other than Penrith winning.
Yeah, that's crazy.
She's
so
4.
crazy.
She doesn't even know what
Yeah.
NRL is,
But it is
to be
crazy
honest.
to
But
think
it's
like a 4-year-old has only ever seen one team win
Yeah,
a comp.
yeah.
You know? It is, yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, so obviously Brisbane come out not very dominating, but they got the job done.
Yeah.
Who do you think was immense in this? And obviously Pat Carrigan comes in next week. That's a huge in for them.
Huge boost.
I think one thing to note, Ezra Mam came on pretty early, probably 30 minutes into the game. What do you think their starting side looks like next week?
I actually don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. They've got so many, it's so weird, they've got so many options. Like really good options, which is, nice if you're a Broncos fan.
I actually didn't think they looked super convincing with Ben Hunt at hooker as well, but he had some moments where he just skipped the first defender.
Yeah.
And it just really helped. And I think for that Willison try, he beat the marker.
Yeah.
And it was I think he passed the ball. What happened there? Did it hit a Penrith player?
Yeah.
But he's got that. He's got that where he can just add that layer of creativity.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's such a veteran, right? So to have him there is a massive boost, I think. Grand final experience as well. Adds a lot.
It does, even if it's bad grand final experience.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you actually learn more, to be honest.
Yeah.
Look at Cleary in 2020, and then
2020 to 2021, 2022, 2023. So I have a very good question that I need you to think about because this will most likely be clipped up. Does Ezra Mam deserve to win a grand final this year and have a medal around his neck after what happened earlier in the year with the weak punishment? And I don't know, it just doesn't... I said to someone a couple of weeks ago, I'm over it. I'm over what happened. I think he's paid his dues. He's absolutely copped it, and I 100% agree with that. What's happened? But the fact he comes out and plays like that and a very dirty play style, it just doesn't sit right with me, and I'm sure it doesn't sit right with a lot of fans.
Look, I can see why he's easily hated. But I sort of also love that in rugby league because I think it's good for the game.
Yep.
Look, my whole philosophy on everything, pretty much always, apart from a couple instances, is that if a player gets done for something, they get a punishment, they do their time, they come back, they prove they've got the ability to be, they've got the talent to be picked, and they go on to win a comp. I got no issue with that.
Yeah.
I got no issue with that. But in saying that, he'll cop a lot of boos and a lot of jeering from the crowd, and he expects that probably, and it is what it is. But
it's a bitter pill to swallow because it feels like just the way that penalty happened. I was going to say milked. It wasn't milked. It was definitely a penalty. Cleary shouldn't have reacted the way he did.
No, but to be honest, the first penalty should have been for attack on the kicker because that's been penalised fucking all year.
Yeah, 100%. But Ezra's only got to play what's in front of him, and I feel like only going to be open to criticism because of what happened earlier this year. And I feel like, as I said, it shouldn't have been brought up. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, that he's paid his dues.
Yeah,
but we shouldn't bring it up again. But because he's played like that, it's always going to come up. If something in the game brings the game into disrepute, or like a high tackle or something, or that's always going to come up. And
I just, not, it's a bit of a different ball game because he had an actual legal issue. But it reminds me a bit of how everyone just hated Romy when he played at Penrith.
Oh, I hated that. He did nothing wrong.
I think a lot of this thing that gets classed as dirty play, I think it's just ultra competitiveness, and I don't mind a bit of grubbiness in footy. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. They're doing a whole lot worse in A grade on the weekend. You know what I mean?
100%.
A whole lot worse.
I've been trying to come back to footy for ages, but everyone's just telling me all they want to do is hurt people. And you're just like, you kind of respect that because you're like, that's what the game's about, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, 100%. So let's move on to grand final prediction. We've probably showed our hand very early on. Broncos versus Melbourne. How do you think Broncos will beat them? And how do you think, like, what's the scoreline going to be?
I think it'll be very tight. I'd say it's going to be a similar game to what we saw today. Depends what the weather's like too, but if it's a nice sunny and hot day, I think that will offer a bit more free flowing footy. So we might get a little bit more points, because they're both very very good attacking sides. I see Broncos winning. I'm going to say maybe 18-16.
I'm thinking 22-18. 22-18. Do you think free-flowing footy... Fuck, I had a question. I had a really good question. I've lost it. To be honest. So, yeah, Melbourne versus Broncos. Who's your Clive?
I think if he has a game like he had against Canberra, Reece Walsh.
Feeling Pat Carrigan.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I like it.
I think they'll be dominant. Are we underestimating Melbourne? Like
yes.
Melbourne,
100% we are.
Melbourne have legit been the best team in the last. Besides Penrith, last 5 years.
I think they just haven't wowed me this year.
Yeah,
like I've just been like,
but are they timing their run perfectly?
Maybe they are.
Yeah, right. So Pat Carrigan. Let me say, Xavier Coates. For Melbourne.
Yeah,
they win.
I'm going to go based on what we said earlier. Just the amazing year that he's had. Cameron Munster.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me, brother.
It's been a good one. Do we come back next week? Maybe.
I'll be at the game actually.
So I might be.
If anyone's going to the game, catch me there.
Maybe we'll catch up Monday or Tuesday. We'll see. But
we'll do
thank you for tuning in. Head over to Speak Free with Matty G on the podcast feeds. I think you're doing good things.
Instagram, TikTok at Speak Free Podcast. Let's go.
You've got Maxini coming on in a couple of weeks, don't you?
Yeah. So film that. It's coming out in just over a week. Yeah.
He looks massive, eh?
He's a big boy
compared to what I thought he was.
Yeah. He's like 6'4", I think.
Yeah, right.
I might be wrong. Sorry. See if I'm getting you high wrong.
All right. Thanks for coming on the podcast, and we'll see you next week.
Sweet as. Thanks, guys.